Hi, gorgeous.
Hi.
Hey. I don't know how to make this work. The different cashew sauces. Maybe this and then into a bowl. Actually, it out when you do the next batch.
That sounds good. Is that too much, or do you see too much? Do you want?
I just don't like the angle of the computer versus the
I understand.
phone.
How's this? Is that a little bit better?
No, down is better. Yeah. Oh, I guess a little bit higher. You're a little bit down. There we go. I just want to be able to see what I'm doing with my hands.
And I have a mouse here just in case we
Whoa,
need to make an adjustment here.
fancy.
Yeah. See, just for that reason, so I can enable transcripts for Rose. Hey guys, we'll be starting in a minute. Want to get the rest of the technical stuff together and give people a chance to hop on. Hi, everybody. We're going to be cooking today. I'm going to be the gopher. I'm the occasional wise woman, but mostly the gopher. And my sweet daughter, Jacqui.
I'm really anxious right now. I usually do this on my own page.
Jacqui does a lot of this elsewhere, but has never been here before. So some of you may not know her.
Yeah.
But this is my sweet daughter, Jacqui.
Hi.
She's my oldest.
Hi.
Hi, Jacqui.
Hi.
I love your shirt.
Wow, thanks. It's like a weird coat. It's actually warm though, weirdly.
Here, it's nice.
Thanks.
Excited for the afternoon, ladies?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know if you can see everything that's here. I don't think you can, but Jacqui's got all this stuff laid out. Let me see if I can.
Maybe you could take a picture. Can you post pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll post a picture of what's here. And it's going to show. So in order to get the computer, she normally uses a tripod and her phone. But in order to get the computer, I'm going to take a picture of it. It's too funny. This is us. This is
The one that cracks me up is that bowl.
I
'Cause it really doesn't do anything.
Doesn't do anything. Okay, I will post a picture of this in the group right now, just so you guys will get an idea, or maybe I'll see if I can post it underneath this. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Anyway, do you want to tell us what we're going to do today, Jacqui?
Sure. So first, it's not starting now, is it?
It's 11:31. We can start anytime we want.
Okay, so first I wanted to start with the tofu prep. This is a drained version of this tofu. Extra firm is, in my opinion, the best if you're using it as your meat source. If you're using it for like a sauce or whatever, then silken is better, but you want extra firm. So I've just drained this one and then we're gonna put it in a tea towel. You can also use paper towels, but it just uses so many of them that it's just better to have a tea towel that's just really absorbent. Because you want to get out all the moisture that you can before you start using it. Because with tofu, it takes on whatever flavor you have marinating it in. So you want to make sure to get all the liquid out so that it can soak up as much as it can. So I just take it and wrap it. And then you put a weight on it. Did we have a weight?
We did.
Whoa. Hey, Jacqui. So you can use a book, you can use a big pot, anything that has some weight to it. You don't want to do too much weight because then they'll just like crumble on the inside. But we're just gonna set this to the side and put this book on it. And do that for about 30 minutes and then you're good. So now we're gonna make a big batch of cashew sauce, which I used to do meal prep for a Brightline, for a few Brightline customers. And one of the best things to getting them to enjoy the vegetables is this sauce. So I'm gonna be making a huge batch of it. This is 4 cups of cashews. We're gonna post the simpler recipe in the comments or wherever she puts her stuff.
Is that this right here?
No, that's the hummus.
Oh, sorry.
Don't worry about it. We'll do that later. That'll be later.
I'm the
You're
helper.
doing great. So we're doing a ginormous batch because it lasts a really long time. You can freeze it after you portion it out. And I'll be making 3 different types. So you can have variety. The first one will be a simple garlic. And from that, we make the other ones. So I'll be taking the 4 cups of cashews that I've already made out. 4 cups. And then we just get these at Costco in a really big container. And then 2.5 cups of water. And then, or you can use broth. I just like water. I don't know. Keeps it simpler. 2 teaspoons of salt. You can use Celtic sea salt if you want less sodium, or you can use less salt. You don't need to use that much salt. And then 5 to 6 cloves of garlic. This is my favorite thing for garlic. You can cut the ends off and just slice it like some people do, but this takes it off in like 2 seconds and you don't waste any of it. So I really like it. So you're gonna use 4 to 6 cloves of garlic, depending on how much you like garlic. I really like it. I should have done a couple of these first, but whatever. We're just going. And we worked out that 2 ounces of whatever of this sauce you have is the portion for it. And it counts as your fat?
Yes.
Yeah, it counts as your fat.
Yeah, so a fat normally in the program that a lot of you use is normally 1 ounce. I'm sorry, half an ounce. But with all the liquid and all of the other things, 2 ounces for the dressing is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah.
Now, do we need to mute while we make this noise?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, we're gonna mute for a second.
Sonja, can you hear me? If someone's not muted, could you mute? I hear something in the background. I don't know if it's a TV or something. Thanks.
So one of the things that that I want to make sure everybody hears is that this is a dressing that you can use on a lot of different things. You can use it on your salads, of course. And the more using the Vitamix is a good idea, only because then it breaks down the nuts into sort of a creamier.
Or you can just soak it beforehand.
Right. If you soak the cashews beforehand as well, it will help.
The clients that I had loved it in their soups. I used to make soups for them with a bunch of the vegetables in it. It's also really good for beans. It's really just good for anything. It's really good sauce. So I'm gonna put part of this in a bowl to the side. So this is the original. This is one of my clients' favorite, just as is. It's just a garlic cashew sauce. It's delicious. But now I'm gonna split it in two and make two different kinds, two more different kinds. Do you want some of this original one saved too?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll save it. Is that good? I don't know. I kind of portioned it out to be able to do half and half.
That's great. Thank you.
Sorry. Okay. I'm gonna end up putting the rest of this back in the blender, but until I'm done with the red pepper sauce. It's like a cheesy red pepper sauce, so it's really good for, like I said, the beans or whatever. It just depends on what you're making. Just eyeballing it. Where's that? So for this one, I'm gonna add the bell pepper. You can also do roasted red bell pepper. You just put it in the oven at 375, something like that. I'm just so used to, I eat raw, so I'm so used to making everything out of raw stuff.
And to simplify, you could use roasted red peppers from, isn't there a container like roasted red peppers? There's also roasted tomatoes.
They sell those. So I'm just chopping it up lightly so that the blender doesn't have to do too much. And I'll also be adding, you don't have to add the nutritional yeast, but it makes it kind of cheesy, and I really like that. So I'll be adding some of this.
About it, Jackie, since I'm not a cook, about how much nutritional yeast did you put in there? I know you're gonna say.
Oh, good question. About 3 tablespoons.
Thank you.
And you can keep adjusting, so taste it while you're mixing it, and then adjust it because it'll add a cheesy, nutty flavor.
And in our case, we wouldn't taste it, but we could.
Sorry, just smell it.
try it with, smelling is a really
But also just trying it for the first time, and then for the next time, be like, hey, I would have liked some more of that. But either way, you can't really go wrong if you add 3 tablespoons to half of the cheesy sauce. And then I'm adding 2 tablespoons lemon juice. And then I'm gonna blend, so you should put it on mute.
Got it. I'm the mute girl.
Pretty please.
We'll be right back.
Now that's done.
Look how fun.
Yeah, it's a cheesy red bell pepper sauce, which is one of my favorites.
You want me to clean it?
Yeah, if you could. I just don't like to waste it. I don't think cashews are not cheap. I mean, they're not that expensive, but you don't want to waste. It's good to get as much off as you can. Okay, can you rinse that?
Okay.
Thanks. Then I'm just gonna put this in the container. And And we'll also write down all the recipes, just so you don't have to like, if you don't want to write it down right now, you don't have to worry about it. Can you rinse this one too, please? Sorry. Thanks. And this. Thanks. Okay, so this is the, oh, you can't really tell, but it's more red because it's the bell pepper sauce. And then we're gonna take this one. Actually, I feel like we have to use this because I didn't really half it very well.
You can use the other
I am gonna, I'm sorry.
You want to use the other dressing? You can.
That's what that's what I am. I'm doing it. But this is easy for us, you know, I can make it and it'll be easy for you too, but just for this demo, because I already measured out the basil and the spinach. And we're adding lemon juice. Cutie. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, so now for the second type. So if you're doing batch cooking, this is how you do it. You just put it in a separate container. And luckily it rinses off really easily, so you won't be stuck with like a whole load of dishes. We're just gonna pour this back in here. Scrape as much as I can.
And a reminder too, you can store these in these cute little containers. Is it 2 ounces, did you say?
Yeah.
2 ounces is a serving and you can freeze it.
They freeze really well, and then you just thaw it the night before in the fridge. It's awesome. You can also use Ziploc bags if you don't have the Tupperwares, but they also have the little, I think it's the Rubbermaid brand that has little sauce cups. They sell them in really big packs. Those are convenient. So I'm taking about a packed 1/4 cup or a loose 1/2 cup of basil and adding that to here. And then 2 cups of spinach, fresh spinach. And then 3 tablespoons of the nutritional yeast. This is, we're making the pesto. And lemon juice. About 1.5 tablespoons lemon juice. And then we're gonna mute.
Mute.
Wait, I need the lid. Oh, here it is. Okay. Thanks.
Hold on. Okay, we're going on mute.
I need a bowl. Oh, I just put it in here.
You can use this one.
I don't think that's enough space. Will you hold that? Yep, thanks. Are you off mute?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And this is the, it smells so, it's a creamy pesto. It's not an actual pesto because we didn't do like pine nuts, but the flavor's there. And you can use pine nuts. You can add the pine nuts and then just add a little bit of water. But
And of course, the original pesto had Parmesan or some other kind of cheese. And since this is a vegan recipe, there's no cheese in it.
yeah, and that's why I use nutritional yeast. 'Cause that adds a cheesy flavor and I don't notice. But
Well-
I've been vegan for 5 years, so.
Jacqui, what was the amount again on the basil?
I did a 1/2 cup, loose 1/2 cup.
Loose 1/2 cup, thanks.
Uh-huh. Looks so good. It smells amazing.
So you can use this as your protein source and your fat. So you could have as much as 4, 6. I'm terrible with this part of the math
You're doing
equation,
great.
but I think it would be 6 ounces for a fat and a protein source, but don't take my word on it. We'd have to do the math.
Okay, then this sauce is done. So we just made 3 sauces. And if I had rationed it out properly, you'd have 3 sauces. We only have 2 because I didn't. But then you can, separate it and put it in your containers and freeze some of it and just this will keep for a good week in the fridge. And then if you want to freeze it. So now we're doing the hummus.
Yay. Do you want me to
Hummus.
clean up stuff?
Yeah,
Or
we
you
don't
gonna
need
do it in
this.
here.
We don't need this anymore.
Okay.
And our cute, this thing's like 10 years old, but she's holding strong, so there's no need to replace. So for the hummus, we already prepared the garbanzo beans. I think she went live on it.
I tried. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a
Okay.
minute. So I'm going to post some pictures of how to make beans, but I do want to.
She had technical difficulties this
Oh my
morning.
gosh, it was ridiculous. So I did make some live videos that I will post. So yesterday, we took some chickpeas and we put them in some water and we soaked them overnight. You don't have to soak chickpeas in particular, but I recommend it. There's all sorts of digestive reasons why. If you soak them overnight, it gives the coating that is protecting the chickpea from insects, which can sometimes be toxic to us, which can cause us to do that lovely thing that we can clear a room, right? So if you soak them overnight, most large beans need to be soaked overnight. Chickpeas is sometimes the exception. The only other thing I don't do, I don't soak lentils in advance, but I do soak every other bean. And we soaked some orca and some other kind of.
I don't know the other kind.
It was like
I should have asked.
like an orangey
Kidney bean.
yeah, but it doesn't taste like a kidney bean. It
Weird.
tastes,
It looked like
yeah,
a
it's
kidney
kind of
bean.
creamy. It reminds me of those lemon ones that we got from Gordo's. So
Ooh,
this is something.
the butter ones.
Yeah.
They didn't taste like butter. They didn't have butter in them,
So
but they
if
were
you-
buttery.
Yeah. If you want to try some really fun things. So there's pinto beans and black beans. I love that combination. And you can literally soak them together and cook them together and they're delicious. That's a wonderful combination. You can get those anywhere. The unusual beans, this is Rancho Gordo is the type of, they have heirloom and heritage and really fun specialty beans. This one in particular is called Christmas Lima bean. I didn't soak these yet, but I will. And these are huge.
They're huge.
They're huge, but you can cook them just like any other bean.
They're good. I like
Um,
them.
Yeah, they are.
They're
really
fun.
good. They're really, and they're fun because they're kind of big and pancakey. So soaking them overnight and then rinsing them really well. That's the other aspect of beans to help with, let's just say it out loud, farting. So when you can rinse them thoroughly and then put them in the Instant Pot, and I've got pictures and video and I've done a whole thing and I will include it in the comments later for you, but put it in the Instant Pot. And I use some sort of vegetable broth. This one is in the grocery store regularly. I think this one is Safeway brand or something. Simply Truth. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Fred Meyer. Okay.
Maybe.
This is, generally you need at least 2 to make a pot of beans, depending on how many you soak. And assume that the quantity that you soak is going to triple in size. That's the general measurement. So you don't want to fill your Instant Pot more than 3/4. There's a half line and a I think it's 3/4 or 2/3 line. You don't want to go past that because beans can get foamy when they're cooking and it can block up the pressure cooker components. I've never had that problem and I've overfilled before, so don't panic about it. Well, I haven't. So the pressure cooker that I use is an Instant Pot. You can use other brands that are out there. And there's also a stovetop one that my grandmother used to use. And I'll never forget the huge stain on her kitchen right above her stove where her pressure cooker exploded. These are really safe. I've been using a pressure cooker for, I don't know, 40 years now, and an electric or an electronic one, and they are very safe. So, so you put all of that in, and when you're adding the beans and then adding the liquid, go about an inch and a half above the beans that are in there with the liquid. You don't need a whole lot of liquid, and you can even go less if you run out. You can add water. It doesn't have to be. I like the flavor component and I don't need to do anything else with these beans. They're delicious. These right here, these chickpeas are delicious by themselves. But when we're making the hummus, I prefer to go with the homemade. The difference in the flavor is astronomical. Same with any other bean. Highly recommend making your own beans. They don't take very much time at all. So I go into more detail on how to use the Instant Pot and the timing of everything on the videos, and I will post them underneath. I tried to post them in the comments now, but because we're live, it's not letting me post pictures or videos, but I will do that afterwards. So look for those and I'll pin them to the top of this recording. Okay, I think I'm done.
Yeah.
So these were cooked this morning.
Yeah. So we measured out 3 cups of them for the hummus. 3 cups. There's a little liquid in it, but that's okay. 3 cups of that. Can I have that notepad? I forget that notepad right there.
Mm-hmm.
I forget the amounts that I put in here. Quarter cup of nutritional yeast. And you don't have to do what I'm doing for this. This is my favorite recipe, but you can also look up recipes for hummus that might be more simpler. We're making an artichoke heart hummus. Half a cup of tahini.
Now I want to say something about the tahini. Tahini adds a really nutty flavor. It's basically sesame seed butter. That's what tahini is. So there's fat in this. So if you don't use the tahini, and I'll talk about that after we're all done, then you would be able to use a quantity of 6 ounces for a protein source here, rather than 4 ounces. And it would not be able to be used as a fat. But currently, this is a recipe that you could pull off the shelf, but it's so much better. So you could also add olive oil here. We don't have olive oil in the house, so
But you don't need it. It's
no,
all because
the tahini is really
it keeps it so you don't have to stir it. But I'd rather not have the fat and just stir it anyway. Every time you use it, you can stir it. This is a half cup of, you can also use like a tablespoon of olive oil. Every recipe that I saw adds like an equal amount of olive oil. So like a half cup of olive oil, it just was unnecessary. You can use like a tablespoon of it for this whole recipe, and it makes a lot of difference in the stirring requirements. Half a cup of lemon juice. And 2 tablespoons smoked paprika. I really like smoked paprika. I feel like it adds really good flavor to everything. You could also just put it on the top if you want. 1 teaspoon sea salt. I usually use Celtic sea salt, but we didn't have any more. Celtic sea salt has less sodium, so it still has a lot of the flavor, but if you're watching your sodium, it's nice. This is about a half teaspoon of cumin. I don't even think I pronounced it right, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then 4 cloves of garlic. I didn't do these beforehand either. My bad. Wow, this thing's quick. I like it.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things about the spices in here, when I first started making my own, I used cumin, garlic, onion powder,
I can put that
and
in.
turmeric. Yeah, we'll add these 2. Turmeric is an anti-inflammatory. If you want to add turmeric, and I also recommend adding a little bit of pepper. I didn't because I at the time had some real problems with nightshades, which is pepper. But this one, adding the smoked paprika, it's delicious. So when I first started making it, I was using that. So
Can I put it in my Vitamixer, or do you have to have a food processor?
Yeah, I think you can do it in a Vitamix.
yeah, that's how I made it for the whole
Yeah.
first 2 years I was making
Okay.
it, or before I moved back home. Yeah. She
Okay.
had this here, and I had an extra Vitamix in Southern California. So that's where I made mine through the Vitamix. Absolutely.
Even though I'm pretty sure this is hers.
Oh,
This
really?
was hers originally. Yeah.
Yeah. It was mine, but
I borrowed it.
co-opted it.
This is just a can of artichoke hearts soaked in brine. She really likes it, so we're doing it.
The marinated artichoke hearts are
really
already a probiotic for you. So you can imagine. So if you don't have tahini and you just have some vegetables, you can also add in roasted red peppers. You can add in pine nuts, a huge variety. Anything that you see at the store that they're trying to put together for you, you can make here too. Okay, are we gonna mute?
And it's cheaper,
Way cheaper and so much better.
customizable.
Are
Okay,
you
yeah,
ready?
yeah, mute it.
Okay, we're gonna go on mute.
It's not bad. Hummus.
Hummus.
And a lot of it.
Yeah.
Made a lot of
So
hummus.
I will do you all a favor and weigh this when we're off camera and done, and I'll let you know how much this actually made for us, how many ounces.
With those
so-
exact ratios.
With those exact ratios.
Now we're gonna come back to the tofu and then we're done. Tofu.
Are there any questions about any of this while we're grabbing the tofu?
You still have it muted?
No.
Oh,
Sonja, I wanted to ask a question about the artichoke hearts. Do you buy them marinated, or what were you marinating them in?
Yes, so I've always just gone to the store and found organic marinated artichoke hearts in brine,
isn't that
or
Whole Foods?
I found them in a Whole Foods regularly, but the ones like, for instance, at Costco are in oil. And I don't recommend those unless you want to add some oil to the hummus. You can just use that. But the reason I like the marinated ones is because it gives you a probiotic.
Okay.
So yes, you can find the cans. I can take a, where did we have the ones that we have? Jacqui just picked up. We're in a small town, and I can look to see if I can find some that actually are the ones I used to get down in Southern California.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And Sonja, the chickpeas, are they the chickpeas in the can in the grocery store, or are they chickpeas that aren't processed yet?
Well, you can use the cans, and you just remove the liquid and measure them out. I would think this is probably 2 cans or maybe even 3. You can use
3
the
cups
cans.
total.
It's 3 cups total is this one. And again, don't get hung up too much on that ratio in particular, but try to get close to that if you can for the amounts that Jacqui just gave you. But again, I want to stress that when you make them in advance, when you make your own chickpeas, it's infinitely better. The hummus is incredibly delicious. So we get organic
And less
chickpeas.
sodium. Way less sodium.
Yeah, way less sodium. We get organic chickpeas, and I will share a video of our process. There's actually 2 or 3 videos when we started the soaking process, and then we went to the rinsing, and then starting the cooking process, and then ending it, and what it looks like. So I'll share those underneath as well, because it takes time, but it doesn't take a lot of time out of your whole day. It just takes a little bit of advanced planning to soak the beans in advance. And I can also tell you, you can soak a bunch of beans and then only cook a small amount, and then freeze the ready to cook beans. So even if you haven't cooked them yet, but you've soaked them, you can freeze those as well. So that to me eliminates a lot of extra headache. Cooking the chickpeas, you can also freeze the chickpeas themselves so that you can just make some hummus up for a gathering. You just grab some frozen chickpeas that are cooked out of the freezer. It's a really, really great. I've done this multiple times. I've taken 6-ounce bags of chickpeas, tossed them in the freezer, or 6 ounce. In my case, I do 7 ounces generally when I add the artichoke hearts and no fat. 7 ounces of chickpeas I use them for salads. I toss them in and made a salad dressing out of the hummus regularly. So you can freeze that as well. So lots and lots of opportunities for this. And then after they're cooked, you can also put the cooked chickpeas from the Instant Pot into the air fryer and make roasted chickpeas in the air fryer instead of buying them. Yeah, those are really good. That ratio is 2 ounces once they're done being cooked in an air fryer. We just gave a lot of information there. That was a lot.
In a half hour, it's only been a half hour. We made 3 sauces, a huge batch of hummus, and we're almost done with the tofu. Most of it is just, you can prepare a lot of food in just an hour, So you can watch your show while you do it. And then, I don't know. Right now, I'm just going to cut this into cubes. You can make the cubes however big you want or small. If you make them smaller, they'll be crispier. If you make them bigger, they'll be creamier. So it just depends on what you like. And I would just experiment, maybe even make 2 blocks at a time and try both kinds to see what you like the best. Also, not all tofu is created equally. You might not like this brand, but you might like another brand. There's 2 brands of extra firm that I got the other day.
Wildwood too, right? Is that it?
Wildwood's my favorite, but I can't find it anywhere. So I got this kind, and then there was another kind. They were both extra firm, but one of them just disintegrated in the middle, and I couldn't do what I'm doing right now. So even if you find one that you're not that big of a fan of, try another one, and you might love it. It just depends on how it's made, how it's pressed. The flavor is usually the same, but in my opinion, the texture is what matters when you're eating it, and especially when you're baking it. You don't want it to be all airy inside. At least I don't. So what I did was I cut it into little and then cut it halfway. I don't know if you can see it, but I cut it halfway so that there are 2 layers of cubes. And then I'll need that bowl. I'm going to marinate them. This is my ultimate favorite way to make tofu. It's super simple. And in my opinion, tastes like chicken. It's chickeny. I'm not going to say it tastes like chicken, but it's chickeny, if that makes sense. So we just take tamari. I like tamari because it's gluten-free. You can also use coconut aminos. It's just sweeter. So for this purpose, I think tamari works the best. You can also use nama shoyu. I think that's fermented, but I don't measure this. So I should find out a measurement for a block of tofu, but you want to just make sure it's coated. So
Okay, I just counted 6. You've used 6.
Okay. 6 things.
So count to 6.
Yeah. And it was like up to here. So that's probably like 3 tablespoons, maybe.
So maybe a quarter of a cup.
Sure. And
Right.
maybe,
The I use says 2 tablespoons, and that seems to cover it.
okay, that sounds
Well,
good. There's
I mean-
always stuff at the end. I always stir it.
Yeah.
And then with this, I do equal parts nutritional yeast, and that gives it's not a cheesy flavor at this point. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it. And a lot of people use coconut oil with it. You can use a spray oil, but I just don't use any oil at all. It ends up not as fried in the end because we're going to bake it. But we're not going to bake it for the show. We're just going to show you the marinade process, and then you bake it at 350 for 20 minutes.
And we'll
Spread it.
bake it. Yeah, we'll bake it at what's the temperature?
And then she
350?
can show you later a picture of it when it's
Well, there
done.
may be enough questions too, but 350?
Yeah. And then you just put it on parchment paper. After you've stirred it all, and you can also add more stuff. Sometimes I like to add garlic powder, smoked paprika, onion powder. Sometimes an Italian seasoning blend is really good with it. But I'm just doing the bare one right now because it's universal. You can use it for anything.
Have you tried it in the air fryer? It's really
Yes.
good in the air fryer.
It's wonderful in the air fryer. The only reason I'm baking it is our air fryer is acting weird right now. So I was just gonna bake it, but you can use the air fryer at, I would say 350. I usually use the shrimp setting. I know that's weird, but there's a shrimp button and I think it ends up being at 320 for like 6 minutes, but really any vegan meats, I use the shrimp setting. I don't know why, but it works really well. The time and the temperature. So we just spread it out evenly so there's no overlapping. Doesn't really matter if they're touching, and then bake it. That's it. There's a big mess here, but it's all gonna be super easy to clean up. There's no oil.
So I wanted to ask you
I'll
some
let you talk.
questions. I wanted to ask you some questions
Oh.
about this particular dressing, Jack.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, so this is the pesto dressing with some past stuff on it.
Yeah.
This is the pesto dressing. And I'm blessed to have someone like this in my home. And she's like, Mom, would you like some pesto? What do you call it? Alfredo?
Yeah. It's really
So
good.
she calls it Alfredo sauce when she puts it on noodles and zoodles.
Yes.
What's-
Zucchini noodles, cucumber noodles, carrot noodles, kelp noodles.
Kelp noodles. Do we have any to show
Yeah.
them? Where
Yeah,
are they?
in the middle cupboard. They're really good. And a good dose of iodine.
So kelp noodles, I never had them before until just recently. There's 3 servings, half a cup. And of course, we don't go by that. This is basically,
6 calories.
yeah,
It's 18 calories for the whole thing.
it's crazy. And where do we get this?
Co-op.
We
But
get
you
it
can
at
get
the
it other
co-op.
places too. You can order it online.
You can see that.
Just post a picture when you're done.
I will, but I like to show people what this looks like. So it looks a little bit like,
It's like glass noodles.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Jacqui mixes it up with zucchini noodles and then adds some broccoli and some asparagus. Puts that
Asparagus
all
tips,
together.
The
Yeah.
tips of
Oof.
asparagus.
Puts that
So
all
good.
together and then covers it with the sauce. So your protein source would be the
Sauce.
yeah, what do we call that?
The pesto.
Pesto,
The creamy pesto.
the creamy pesto.
And when you bulk it up, because this has no calories anyway, but you can bulk it up with the zucchini noodles or cucumber. I like cucumber noodles better, a lot better. When you bulk it up, you're not adding very many calories at all. You're just adding more vegetables and you get a satisfying situation, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
it's quite delicious and
It's
yeah.
really good.
Are there any questions about what we've done here?
Should put this in a bowl.
I have one, of course. You said cucumber noodles. So do you eat the pesto sauce on noodles cold?
Yeah, but I eat raw food, so
Oh.
I'm used to that.
Right.
But it's still really good. You can also, when you're making the pesto, if you want to make it fresh for your meal, you can blend it in the blender for 2 minutes and it's warm that way. Or you can put it in the microwave. You can put it in the microwave and then it'll warm your noodles up.
Thanks.
If you do the cucumber noodles, leave the cucumber or zucchini out for about an hour before you make it, so they're not cold. It's room temperature. Then I'm just used to it being cold, but yeah. It's really good sauce.
Any questions?
Show the Beyond sausage. We didn't make any Beyond sausage, but it is so good. I feel like everybody should try it.
So Beyond Meat is a plant-based meat product. Now, bear in mind that there's a lot more calories and a lot more processing in here. So this would definitely not be listed as a whole food plant-based
No.
product. But if you were wanting to make some substitutions and trying out some things to try to not eat so much, as we call it,
Cholesterol,
flesh,
just cholesterol,
right?
you know, lowering the cholesterol issue. This has a lot
So,
more.
so Beyond
no gluten.
Sausage, Beyond Meat makes a bunch of different products. They make ground beef that looks like Beyond, they call it Beyond Beef. It looks just like ground beef. They make meatballs that are also shaped like meatballs and taste, to me, they taste like beef. These sausage remind me of growing up with bratwurst. And they can be cooked in the air fryer. They can be sliced up and cooked in the air fryer or cooked in the oven.
It's best
They can
diced
be
up.
they can be pan fried.
It's best diced up in the air fryer. If you like coin it, make it into coins and then put it in the air fryer, it's so good.
Generally 4 ounces would be considered a protein. And the first ingredient is pea protein. So there's quite a bit of protein in here.
Mhm.
What is it? There's
16 grams
yeah. So a
for
typical
one link.
yeah. A typical serving size of protein is between 15 and 20 grams of protein. That's been my experience. So what else do we want to talk about?
That's it.
You think that's it?
Yeah.
Think we've covered everything?
I think so.
You sure?
We need it clean. Yes, we do. So anxious.
The royal we, she just said we need to clean. She does all the work. And then I
No.
put everything in the dish. Yes. And it's
Good at
perfectly
it.
fine. I'm really great with the fact that now I have the beginnings and the middles of many, many things.
A lot of them are just cleared.
Mhm.
This is clear.
Mhm.
This takes everything.
I would really love to see if you would try any of these things to please. First of all, just try them. Just try them.
Especially the pesto. So good.
yeah.
Who doesn't love basil? Fresh
You can
basil.
get big Costco size. Now the issue for many of us is taking that big Costco size thing of cashews and not eating in between. And so you may want to store them in the freezer. You can do that out of sight, out of mind, and only pull out what you need for your dressings. You can make these dressings up just for the salad, or you can, like we showed, make up multiple things and then have them available for you as you want to. Thaw them out from the freezer or use them from the refrigerator.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
What about the Bragg's amino acids if you can't get the tamari sauce?
I've never tried that, but it might work.
Yeah,
I've never tried it.
It's basically the same concept.
Oh, okay.
There are some that are sweeter than others.
Like
Um,
coconut aminos.
Yeah, coconut aminos is a little, to me, that's too sweet for my taste.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It kind of kicks me out of the savory and into the danger zone, basically. So I'm not a fan, but Bragg's is good. Mhm.
Sonia, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
How does kelp noodles compare to palmini? These are hearts of palm. They're like a linguine.
I would imagine the only thing I can tell you is that these are so low in calories and really high in iodine. I'll post the nutritional information.
These
They're-
are 20 calories.
Yeah, these are 6 for a half cup.
Oh, okay.
This is 18 for the whole thing. 18 calories for the whole thing.
Yeah.
And no fat. I like that. No sugar.
Now, the other thing you can do with the pesto is you can use the, I love the bean pastas that are out there.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen those, I think.
Black bean.
Yeah, there's a black bean and a
Chickpea pasta?
azuki bean and a edamame. Explorer, I think, is the brand.
Okay.
That I like. Make sure that when you're looking at bean pasta, that you're looking for the amount of grams and the ingredients say beans rather than bean flour.
Okay, thank you.
Is it usually dry or are the bean pastas better moist or do they even come moist?
Well, you have to cook them. So they
Oh,
come
'cause yeah,
looking just like any other pasta, which may be triggering for some. It's never been an issue.
Right.
All these you don't have to cook.
Right, these you
Yeah.
don't.
These,
You just soak these,
I
right?
soak them in, you don't have to, you can take them, rinse them and eat them as is, but I like to soak them in lemon juice, in water and then a little bit of lemon juice, and it just softens them up a little bit.
With the beans, follow the recipe to cook them to the letter. I set my timer and I was clear. 6 minutes is generally how long it takes. And then it makes enough for, my experience was enough for 2 or 3 servings for me.
Okay.
And you can keep them in the refrigerator and just heat them up in the microwave. And you can put anything on those. You can put marinara sauce or marinara sauce or
the
salsa.
pesto sauce,
Huh?
the pesto sauce.
Or the pesto sauce, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Sonia, I apologize if I missed it, but does the hummus freeze well also?
It does,
Okay.
it does. I've frozen it and then taken it on in my suitcase and kept it in, one of those refrigerators in the hotel for a week, and it's fine. So, yeah. If you're on a day trip and you want to freeze it, pick it up, and you plan to eat it 4 or 5 hours from the time you pull it out, it should be thawed by then. So you don't really even need a cooler.
I'm sorry, I missed the name of those noodles that you have in the pouch.
These are called Kelp, K-E-L-P noodles. And all I can tell you is that they do not remind me of the bottom of a barge. Just so you know, they taste kind of oceany in a way. I don't know, but very little. I encourage you to try them.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Do you or Jacqui ever use seaweed? Like they make the dry seaweed that's real thin and flat, and I'm intrigued by it, but I don't know what to do with it.
Have any? You want to grab them? Yeah, we were actually going to make Nori Rolls today, but we decided on these 3 and decided on the tofu instead. So I thought that would be a little bit easier for people, but she's bringing her Nori Rolls right now.
Well, I don't have rolls.
Well, no, but you've got the stuff you use to make rolls. Do you want
Yeah.
to pull it out of the
I love it
plastics?
so much. They're so good. All you have to do is, and they're quick. I make them all the time. They're like, and cats love it. And dogs. Just the sheets themselves. These are raw, but you don't have to get the raw kind. You can get the roasted kind. And you just put them, there's a shiny side and then there's a textured side. You just put the textured side facing up, with the lines going toward you because that's kind of guiding your cuts. And then you just fill them like you would a burrito, but all the way to the edges and then roll it.
So talk about what you do to fill it. What things do you use to fill it and how do you do that?
My favorite things are shredded cabbage, shredded red cabbage, cucumber. I always make it into little slices. Oh yeah, that. This is my favorite tool ever that I think everybody should have. It's one side is what do you call this?
You're asking me a technical question about the
What is it
kitchen?
called? Like a peeler, a regular peeler on one side, and the other side is a julienne side, which is how I make my cucumber noodles or my carrot noodles or my zucchini noodles. You can also use a spiralizer, but in my opinion, a spiralizer holds the core of whatever you're doing and leaves that part out of the noodle. So if you're using like an English cucumber, a lot of it's wasted, or carrots. It's just a lot better, in my opinion, to use the julienne peeler for your noodles. And I use that to do a carrot, You should get a carrot. You should get a carrot and you should get the purple cabbage, pretty please. And
And what?
some peppers. Carrot, purple cabbage, pepper. Ooh, and sauerkraut. Do you have sauerkraut?
Really? You would throw sauerkraut in there?
Oh, good. I know it sounds weird. I know it sounds weird because you can make it like you would sushi. But I discovered this after being raw. I went to this raw restaurant in my city that makes their own raw sushi. And I was like, that sounds weird. But I tried it and I bought it and they had purple cabbage. So with cabbage, I actually like to shred it with a peeler because I feel like the shreds are really nice that way. Also for a salad, you don't want big clumps of something that's already kind of hard to digest. It makes it easier to digest. It makes it easier to chew. It makes it easier to eat. So I just take some of that.
Easier to make sauerkraut too.
True. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
really
thanks. I need that.
yeah, I just learned that hack like a month ago and it's a game changer because yeah, you can make little shreds of cabbage with a knife, but it just takes forever. That took like 2 seconds. And then I take a carrot and this makes little noodles.
Safety tip, watch how she does it, because there are fingers, there are digits that can get in the way. And
Yeah,
you
it's
don't
just
want
like
those
using a knife.
in your nori.
So you're gonna hold the end because apparently with a carrot, you don't want to eat the end anyway, supposedly. So I just take it and it makes a ton of noodles. And I set them to the side, do more. set it to
These
the
noodles
side.
could be used with, guess what? Your pesto.
Yeah, carrot noodles are delicious when they're made this size. You know, you don't really notice.
Do you guys have an owl in your house?
A what?
An owl?
Oh, pigeon. I rescue pigeons. That's Prince. He really likes to sing, especially when we talk.
And I was actually gonna take a little video of them in case anybody was asking, what is that noise in the background?
Yeah. Prince and Lady are in there, and I just rescued another one last night. If you ever see a white pigeon out and about, it is not wild and definitely needs to find a home.
So call Jacqui
Yeah.
and she will get up
So I
at
just-
11 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
and
I went
go
out
and
last
find-
night,
She went and found a net.
an
and
hour
then-
away.
Yeah, she went and found a net, drove an hour.
But he was hurt. He didn't even try to get away, and they're domesticated, so they don't know how to defend themselves. I wasn't a predator, but I could have been. So I made a bunch of carrot noodles, and you just put that on here. Can they see the?
I don't know.
Just put it down just a little bit more.
I can.
That would be really helpful. Because these are such a great snack, and not that's just a little bit. They a little bit higher. I'll get shorter.
Is that good?
Perfect. These are amazing with that cashew dip. The original one, in my opinion, is the best. And then with this, I'm just gonna make some real quick noodles. I don't care about the skin. Some people don't like it, but it's not an issue to me. And that looks like it's one big piece, but it's actually a bunch of noodles. And this is too, like just really nice noodles.
That's so cool.
And I'm just filling
Look how
it.
beautiful that looks.
Could
Right?
you share the brand of that Julian thing, your pillar thing you're using?
There are actually a
Yeah.
bunch of kinds on Amazon, and I actually have bought a few of them because they get really
Dull.
no, they don't get dull, but they just get dirty and you can't just rinse them right away. So I use them so often that I got a few of them. This one is Precision Kitchenware,
Kitchen, okay,
but I also have a Titan one that works just as well. So
Okay,
really
thank
just
you.
typing in Julienne peeler is wonderful. And then sauerkraut. I really like, this is smoke and kale. It doesn't really matter what kind you use, but I really like the spicy garlic. So good. And again, this sounds like a really weird mixture, but it was surprisingly pleasant when I had it the first time, and it was a hit at their restaurant. They actually made their own unique kinds of sauerkraut, and everybody would try their kind of the day that they had or whatever, and it was just a thing. So for the end, so I'm done filling it. I don't have any peppers, but that's okay. We could put some of this in it, some pea shoots.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
So how would you do peppers? So would you take just a,
I take the pepper, cut the top off, cut it in half, take the seeds out, and then strip it, make it into strips, and then put it on there.
so you don't use this tool, you actually
No,
cut it?
I cut it.
With a knife?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it'll work with the tool. It just won't be there's no need.
So at your grocery store, you will find, if you have like a co-op or some, where's the lid? I was gonna show them right here of it. So you will find sprouts
Or microgreens.
or microgreens. I don't think you can see that. There we go.
It's not.
This is pea shoots. There are huge numbers of different types of sprouts. There's
Yeah, I have 5 of them in the fridge right now. 5 different kinds.
so what that does is help with your gut biome. So if you're finding that after weeks
And
and weeks and
protein.
weeks or months and months and months of doing this and no sugar, no flour, and you're still having cravings, it's very possible that your gut biome is missing something. And it's overpopulated in something that is yelling at our brain, because there's communication between our guts and our heads. And some of that chatter that's going on could very easily be that you don't have enough variety. So doing something like this gives you a ton of variety. If you can try listing all of the different fruits, vegetables, and seasonings that you use in a month, think about it. Try to do 40. That's going to give you some variety. And then doing something like this, this is a probiotic. This is a live probiotics. Olikraut is a local brand that I love, and they give us a wide variety, but any grocery store is going to have probiotics available to you. Adding those in different times is going to populate the healthy gut biome that you want.
So could you replace the pill probiotic with the sauerkraut, you think?
Way better, and it stimulates in your body better. It has the food needed for so prebiotics are important and probiotics are important. The prebiotics are the food for the probiotics. So when you take it in this form, it not only are you getting the probiotics, but it's along with the food that the probiotics need to eat to thrive. So it's just a better situation, and there are more strains. A lot more strains.
Right. So if you're taking the same pill, there's nothing wrong with taking a probiotic pill.
No.
But if you have variety in your probiotics in the food that you're ingesting, that's going to give your gut biome some sassy dancy. Let's
Yeah. Because I'm trying to replace buying all these pills. That's like the same thing as a pharmaceutical.
10 million times better.
Yes.
10 million times better. It has
Right.
way more strains of bacteria that are good for you.
That's, yes.
And they thrive in your body better in this form
Mhm.
because it comes with their food, and it comes with their food that they've been growing with. So it's a million times better, a million times cheaper. And if you can learn how to make your own sauerkraut, it's even cheaper.
I
And
have to wait till the 28th to eat it.
that's awesome. I'm too scared to make it. One time I did
Oh,
it,
it's
got mold
easy.
at the top. And I got
Oh.
scared. I didn't know how to act, so I just gave up. But that was a while ago. Maybe I'll try it again. I just want to finish this real quick because it's just sitting here, but you just want to take water at the very top, about 2 inches in, just get it wet, and that'll help seal it. You can also use like miso paste. That's what they use at the restaurant, but I don't know where it is right now. So I'm just holding the ends of it. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm also guiding the rest to stay in as the burrito, and
Mhm.
curling, bam. Also, if you buy these on Amazon right now, it comes with a sushi roller, which helps you roll it. But if you see, you don't really need it. And then this is the product. Super easy. You can cut it in half at an angle so it looks fancy, or you can cut it in like the little sushi forms that we're familiar with. And it ends up a really nice meal. It keeps really well if you want to make it in the morning and you have to leave and put it in a Tupperware and bring it with you. It keeps really well, and Really nice. I love it. All done.
Thank you, Liz.
That was way faster than what it seemed like because we were talking. That was way faster.
Really inspired me to try that. Thank you. Beautiful.
It's a great source of iodine. Even if you don't like the flavor at first, same with all of this stuff. If you're not like a fan of cabbage, or if you're not a fan of seaweed, if you keep introducing it to your body is naturally a fan of all fruits and vegetables. That's just a thing. But if your gut microbiome isn't used to it and you got more of the stuff that wants fats and sugar and stuff, it's gonna feel like you don't like it. But if you keep incorporating it, you're gonna end up craving it. So yeah, so good. Smells really good too.
Do you have to store the nori in a refrigerator?
No,
Or-
I just put it, I open it. This is actually a resealable bag, but I don't use it. I just put it in a Ziploc bag and then in the fridge or in the cupboard.
Thank you.
Usually I
Jacqui,
don't-
what was the brand name of your sauerkraut there in the jar?
This is Oli Kraut. It's a local brand. I think they sell it.
They might sell it online.
Yeah,
It's really, they've got
Really
so
good.
many different
it's
flavors.
really popular.
Okay,
I love
Thank
it.
you.
Also, just FYI, they also have something called Sauerkraut Brine, which is another way to get a probiotic in if you're not a fan of sauerkraut, but you need the tangy or you need the probiotic. As long as what you're putting it in. So say you make a ratatouille or a vegetable soup, just make sure that the soup isn't too hot when you add the sauerkraut brine. You can find sauerkraut brine in a lot of different places. I found it in Southern California when they didn't have Oli Kraut. But if you had and you can actually pour off the liquid from sauerkraut as well.
But you want to keep it submerged.
You do. I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
I do.
if you weren't a fan necessarily of the kraut, but you wanted the brine itself has a ton of probiotics in it as well. So it was my lifesaver when I was healing my gut lining, when I went from, remember how asthmatic I was?
Mhm.
Oh.
All you need is an ounce of this a day. That's it for your daily dose of probiotics. Also, make sure it's the kind that needs to be in a refrigerator. You can't get they're not all sauerkrauts are the same. There's some made with vinegar and that's just dead.
So if you
don't
say
want that.
live, it has to
Has
say
to
live
say
probiotics
live
or something
probiotics.
like that for it to
Yeah.
be.
Just a quick question. I think I mentioned during the week, I've been sick to my stomach for now 11 days. So you're telling me that if I get some of this, that maybe that'll clear it up. I don't even want to eat. What? It's 12:35. I haven't had anything to eat yet today because I just don't feel good. So part of it might be and I a lot of bile, like throw up, sorry, bile. So you're saying that if I do some of this, that might heal?
It might, but
Okay.
also fasting is really natural for the body to not want to eat while it's healing itself. So I wouldn't force yourself, but if later in the day you want it, it's really good. It's really healthy for you to wait as long as you can to eat, if that's
Yeah.
what your body's wanting. You're not, but this will definitely help your system, I would think.
Yeah, so just to be clear, if you've, neither one of what?
I want some of that.
Neither one of us are going to be able to tell you what's wrong with you. You know that, Susan.
I know that.
Yeah, no. And
But if you and I were just in the kitchen together and I told you that, what would you tell a really good friend?
yes. So the only thing that I can tell you about some probiotics is they can be challenging to digest sometimes. Yogurts, plant-based yogurts that have, there's soy, there's coconut, there's almonds, there's a variety of those. They might be more soothing to your stomach right now than say sauerkraut. And so what I'm talking about is maybe adjusting the level of acid in your system. That you maybe are highly acidic right now in your gut. So adding sauerkraut may not be your best choice, but it may be exactly what you need too. I would try a small amount and see how it feels for you. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Sonia, the difference between kimchi and sauerkraut, they're both fermented vegetables, but
So a lot of kimchis are made with, I think made with fish and something like that. I'm not sure, but I know there's a vegan brand. Do we have the vegan brand, Jack? Kimchi. So kimchi is a different vegetable that's fermented, I think. I'm not as familiar with them.
It's Napa cabbage.
Huh? Cabbage.
Napa cabbage. I think there's some carrots. Basically it's hot. It has cayenne or something in it.
Well, and I was going to say that was the reason I stayed away from it, because for a long time I couldn't do any peppers. And so I stayed away from kimchi. However, is that right, Jacqui? There's some that's made with
Fish,
yeah.
fish juice.
So this one is raw, actively fermenting Napa cabbage. And I think this has Korean chili peppers in it. So this is really spicy as well as.
I use this. It's wild brine, probiotic, spicy kimchi sriracha, but I make that cashew sauce and put this in it. So the creaminess takes away most of the spice, but I'm still getting the fermentation and still getting the really good flavor because it has a really good flavor. But this is raw, live, and fermented too. It's really good.
It's a Wild Brine has a website too. I don't know if it ships to Canada or, yeah.
I think it does though, because one of my favorite raw foodists uses this all the time, and she's from Canada. But I think maybe now she lives in Nevada. I don't know. I'll try to find it. It's so good. It's really good. And even if you take this, you can take some of this and put it in while you're blending the cashew sauce. If you wanted to get this, but can't stand the spice, like I don't really like spicy food, but I love spiced. So yeah, mixing a little bit of that in there, it's really good.
Is the sauerkraut from Costco okay? You know, they have it in the refrigerated area.
Yeah,
So
they usually have wild brine. Wild brine, as long as it says live fermented, then
live fermented. Okay.
Live fermented or live probiotics,
Mhm.
either one. And generally, if they're in the refrigerator, that's the reason. Now, I've not seen any on the shelf that would probably work, but I do know that there are some fermented vegetables that you can get that are canned, similar to or in a jar, that are on the shelf. I would imagine Gracie probably makes some, 'cause she makes everything. But I know pickles, for instance, is a fun one that I found when I was in Southern California. There are a lot of fermented pickles, and they don't have to be sweet. They can be sour and delightful. And I put those in my salads all the time.
It's done.
It's done. Okay, before we go, the tofu is done. Hold on. Let me clear the plate here.
The gorgeous tofu or the gorgeous rolls. So good. It's all golden and crispy, but also like, I call it creamy in the middle, but it's not like creamy. It's just smooth and nice. You can go for longer if you want it to be more crispy too.
And what do we put this in? How do we serve this with something else? What do you recommend?
I like it over noodles with this sauce. You can also have it, I don't know how you guys eat anymore. I stopped doing the meal prep for a Brightliner a long time ago, like a year ago.
I just add it to my salad.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, put it in your salad. You can
add it to a soup.
Mhm.
Or like some stir fry veggies.
Yeah, wonderful stir fry veggies. Yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
works for a lot of things.
All right.
Looks good. Wonderful.
Yeah. Any other questions before we go? Is anybody wondering what that is?
No, but tell us.
I can't see.
It's across my window. It's a wonderful branch we found a long time ago, and we put that up so that Vinny could perch when he came into the house. We have a,
1 pound rooster.
yeah, he's a little 1 pound bantam rooster that is just a spitfire is the nicest thing I can say about him.
Only to you.
Yeah, I know. For some reason, I don't know what it is. He doesn't recognize my ankles because that's how little he is. But when I walk into the hen house, so we have a hen house now outside, but we used to have them rotating between the garage and the outside, back and forth, back and forth. So we had a little perch occasionally for him to perch. And I just don't have the heart to take it down. I think it's kind of fun. So.
Sonja, I'm wondering if maybe once a month cooking show is in your plans.
Yes, yes, it is. I've asked Jacqui to come up with some fun stuff.
Soup and chili and just really
Yep.
fun things.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
lots of variety, lots of fun, and lots of ideas on ways to simplify and ways to batch cook. Mhm.
Soy curls.
Soy curls is a new one that
Mhm.
not new to us, but maybe new to you guys. And we'll talk about soy curls sometime. If you look it up, you can do as many different marinades with soy curls as you can with any other food, and you can pan fry them. And yeah, we'll do soy curls next time for sure.
Thank you, and thank you, Jacqui. So enjoyed this.
Isn't she
Yeah,
wonderful?
thank you.
Yes.
I'm so anxious.
I've always
This
wanted
is
to see
really
more of
good.
her.
I want to go cook now.
Same here.
Well, it's a good day to do it.
And
It's-
Sonia, oh,
Yeah, go ahead, Gloria.
I was watching you watch Jacqui when she was talking, and you just had such a proud mama look on your face.
I can't help
Absolutely.
it. I can't help it. I can't help it. She's
Really nice. No, it's great.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful day. If you have any questions, the
you.
recording, I
Thanks,
will post the recording to here in case anybody finds trouble finding the live recording here. I'll post it and pin it to the top. And then I'll also post it in the Magic group. If anyone is interested in talking to me about stuff, if you have any issues and you're not really sure where to begin, private message me and I will happily give you some suggestions and hopefully scoot you on your way in a way that's delightful and beautiful. So everybody have a wonderful day. I'm so glad we got to spend time together.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
There's my mouse. Here it is.